Welcome back to the Splinter Twins, everybody. I'm Kyle, that's Mark, and there wasn't a Spider-Man set. Shut up. We haven't made a video for a while, but Avatar is here.
Yeah, it wasn't a standard YouTube burnout. It's because it turns out that set really sucked, and I couldn't be bothered. That coupled with standard, it was a whole thing. But I am rejuvenated by Avatar. Still not a big Universes Beyond fan, but I am a fan of well-designed Magic cards, and I think we've got a lot of cool cards in this set.
Stick around to the end of the video. We'll talk about our previous picks as well as how we think this set as a whole is going to do. But for now, we're going to each get into our top 5 picks.
My number 5 pick. Kyle, what if I could tell you, do you like card draw?
I do.
Do you like beating people to death in the air with a giant demon owl?
You are incorrect, Mark.
This is your number 1?
This is my number 1 pick.
Yeah. It's so good. I mean, honestly, I don't stress too much about like number 5 versus number 1. The only thing I think this card has against it is the last sentence is a little bit more other formats, but I think this card is playable all the way back to modern. I think this card is cracked.
This card is playable in Legacy, Mark.
Maybe. I don't know, man. The fetch lands make it so. This card, the thing I think that people don't respect about this card is the vigilance and the flying and the flash of it all. Like, those top 3 words just mean you've got a beat stick that's also all this other crap on top of it. Like, how much stuff does this card do before you just like, oh shit, I forgot it has vigilance. It can block. It's scalable. I mean, it does everything.
It's so bad. So Wan Shi Tong is my number 1 pick, and it will catch... I don't know if it'll get banned in Standard. It will almost certainly get banned in other formats where the fetches, as you pointed out, happen, but not for nothing. There is a ton of, like, searching your library in Standard right now, and yeah, Wan Shi Tong is gonna destroy that mono green deck going to look for things. Here's the thing. Here's why this card is amazing, because it is everything that you want in the deck that you want it in that it is the perfect draw go finisher because it has flash, you can play it at instant speed, and it draws you cards, and it is flexible wherever you want to put it.
That's big.
If you have 7 mana up, you could cast it for 5 mana value and still hold up a 2 mana counter if they leave stuff open. If they, if they try to play some big bomb or whatever, you 3 steps ahead. If they want to just sit there and dirtle, then you just cast this. You draw cards. It is disgusting.
It should not have flash. That's the thing.
No, it should not.
That scenario that you just outlined where you're just like holding up a counter spell, oh, they didn't do their reanimator or their combo piece or whatever. Like, how bad is it going to feel? It's not just card draw. It's, oh, I won the game because what you just said was 7 mana. Now I've got a 6/6 flyer. Oops, you're dead? It's so big. It's so mean. I love this character from the TV show, not for nothing. The fact that, like, the search for knowledge punishes you and makes this guy grow taller, that's good flavor. You can tell when they care. It shows.
My number 5 pick is going to enable some degenerate strategies if it pops off, and that is Great Divide Guide. This 2-mana mana dork, this 2-mana mana dork allows you to tap other lands and allies for any color of mana. It depends on how the allies work, but notice it is not legendary. That's something that I just love about this set. I'll gush at the end, but they really nailed it on the non-legendary characters this time. The fact that it can turn any land that you have to produce any color, and the fact that it turns your little white or 1/1 white tokens into mana dorks. This is like, we're gonna, like, a base green deck playing this thing that has some other allies and lands involved can do some degenerate stuff. Like, I don't know, and that's why I'm using my number 5 pick, if green is where you want to be in Standard, but I don't think you're playing this to play, some big stupid green creature. I think you're playing this so that you can play a giant pile of good stuff value and just absolutely take over the game with it.
I'll be honest, I don't see it. Enduring Vitality, I think, is a better card. Yeah, it costs 1 more mana, but that also has the clause of it coming back to the field. after you murk it. Like that seems like a much.
It doesn't
better
work
card.
for your lands though. It just works
Yeah.
for creatures.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like that card does what you want it to do. It gets you that big ramp, and then what? People don't really play that card in standard, and I feel like there's other dorks that you'd want to play Hauntwoods or something. Like if you're ramping, I think there's other options here.
Also note, this thing is an ally, and so it doesn't say other. So it says each land and ally you control has add 1 mana of any color. So this thing in and of itself is a mana dork.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it's pretty good. That's pretty good.
it's like the ultimate fixer.
Any color. Like for 1 more mana, you do get also a 2/3 body's not nothing. Like it doesn't die to shock. Like for 1 more, look how good Llanowar Elves is. And I know there's a huge difference between 1 mana and 2 mana, but for 1 more mana, you get every land becoming Ami colored, every other ally becoming a mana dork, and you get an additional point of attack and 2 additional points of toughness. That's a shitload.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I do think, and this will preview one of my earlier picks, I think you picked the wrong ramp creature. I think there's one that's maybe better, but we'll see. This card's pretty good. Worst episode of the series, but maybe one of the best cards. My number 4 pick is a necessary pick because I think there's a lot of generically powerful cards. The pigs eat slop of it all, right? Like there's just a lot of commander shit up in this set, which, you know,
Not
it
as much
is
as
what
there
it
could
is.
have been.
I guess they've restrained themselves somewhat. There's some themes and things happening in this set, and so I really do like that a lot. But there is some decks that I think can have a card just slot right in, and Saka Bold Boomeranger, I think fits right up into what Izzet is trying to do right now. Put this in with your Mako. Put this in with your Monument to Endurance. Put this in with your FOMO. Like there have been real Izzet decks that are being tested right now without Vivi. Vivi just got banned today, and there's still going to be an Izzet deck trying, right? And this card absolutely goes into that deck. It's going to let you cycle 2 for 2. That's pretty good. And then also, it's got this growing ability on top of it. I think this card has a home, and I think its home is actually going to be okay without Vivi.
I agree with your take, and I like it. The sort of is it aggro of it all. The annoying thing is that this isn't an activated ability, so Cauldron can't copy it. But
You mean
Cauldron's
the
still
fixed
sticking
thing about it is...
Saka, it is good. It is a pretty demanding mana cost, though.
Yeah.
Like
But it's
blue
not-
or
we
red
don't
on
have
turn 2.
The best
No, we got
mana ever. It's
We've
fine.
got great fixing. I don't know. Would it be too pushed if it came in as a 2/1, like a 1/1 that grows? Like how much of it is the second clause that you care about when you cast an artifact or a lesson spell? You're putting a +1/+1. Like, do you care about that at all?
Not really. I think we'll see what... I don't know how many artifacts that deck is going to end up playing. Monument being one that actually legitimately is not just meme tier. Like, it's people are trying Monument, so there's one right there. The lessons in the set also just look generically good.
Yes.
So there's that. I'm also... little bit of wish casting, thinking about Strixhaven. I think that, you know, it'd be crazy if Learn doesn't come back, and we saw how just truly powerful Learning is. And with these amped up lessons, I'm like, let's go spell slinging lessons and put Saka in there. You know,
I honestly-
there's some things here.
I think they could make these lessons so good because I kept scrolling looking for the learn cards. I'm like, oh, they're not here.
Well, they might be coming in a few months, though.
Yeah, I mean, with Strixhaven, you've got to assume that they are.
It'd be weird if they didn't.
Yeah, but really cool and very thematically appropriate for Avatar, a show really about learning lessons and character
true.
development.
Yeah, that's good.
I like Sokka. It's got relevant creature types as an ally. We'll see. Like, I think it'd be exciting to brew around. It depends on how well these two like abilities synergize together and if it matters. But I mean, I could see a world where you're casting some lesson cards, you're throwing down some artifacts, and then your FOMO is letting this thing attack and it's huge. Like, it's possible. I wouldn't be surprised if it never really gets there. My number 4 card is only at number 4 because I hate it. But I will acknowledge that this card is in fact going to do some nasty stuff in Standard, and that is Firebending Student. This card is everything that the flavor of firebending wants you to do. If you haven't seen it, it's a human monk. It costs 2 mana, no haste on it, thank God. But it does have prowess, and then it has firebending X, pretty simply, where X is its power. So you pump this thing up pre-combat, you swing in, you're going to generate red mana for its power, and then you can use that to just go off, and you get free mana plus its prowess. So every time you're casting stuff at instant speed, your firebending student is theoretically getting better. You're chaining impulse draws together, you're chaining combat tricks together. This card does a shitload for 2 mana. And what are the 2 things that break standard, Mark?
Multiple turns and free mana.
Yep. And
That'll do it.
this card will give you free mana, and I'm worried about that happening.
Yeah, this card's really cracked. I feel like this is going to be another one of those cracked out red aggro cards that's on your list that I look back and go, probably should pick that one. Especially with the damage that Leyline is doing, I feel like we're back to mono red pump. Like, we saw that little bit of reprieve after they banned Monstrous Rage, but with that card coming back to the forefront, with this kind of card coming to the forefront, there's just so much prowess, there's so much spell slinging, there's some really good red spells. Yeah, I feel like this card could be pretty good. Like, it's, it's kind of like Monastery Swiftspear, move over. I've got a Firebender up in here.
Yeah, and not legendary. Like, can you imagine a turn with 2 of these things swinging where they're generating double the mana for every card that you cast pre-combat? Like, god damn.
The only thing I'll say, yeah, I guess what that could do is unlock some really nasty early turn wins, right? Because by the time that your turn 3, 4 rolls around, mono red is running out of cards, right? The super pumpy one. They're running out of cards, and that can get pretty nasty. But now you can just kind of use the firebending to pump your spells and keep adding to the board. Oh, that could get pretty nasty.
It could go is it too for some sleight of hands.
Yeah.
Some card draw capability in there.
I don't
some
think you
bigger
want
card
that.
draw.
I don't think you want that in the deck. I think you just want them dead.
I think so, but I would definitely experiment with it to see if mono red is the optimal build. It's not like the impulse draws are super efficient right now, but damn, dude. Like, who cares? Yeah, I'm holding 0 cards in my hand, but you're at -6. So,
yeah. Well,
GG's.
mono red just got 4 more slots because no more Screaming Nemesis. So you got a few more slots. My number 3 card, as always, I try to pick at least a couple of role players or one role player for all these videos. And I think looking through these, I flirted with Enter the Avatar State. That one looks really good, but it is still a combat
weird
trick.
pause, but
It's pretty good. But I think Origin of Metal Bending is the role player. I think it's pretty no question this is the best naturalized we've ever seen. The fact that it's just blows up an instant or an enchantment, and there's like really nasty stuff where you can just absolutely find targets for this and get a huge mana value trade-off that, you think about like blowing up an Overlord of the Mistmoors. That's easily done, right? Oh, cool. You got 2/2/2s, but you're not going to get the rest of it. Like, there's so many big dumb artifacts out there that you can blow up. When people try to do the big 6 mana Wan Shi Tong or Obituary or whatever that thing is called. People are going to try to play that. Can you imagine how bad it's going to feel when you don't like have to worry about sideboarding this in? You just got it because, oh, by the way, the other part of it is +1/+1 and indestructible little sneaky snakeskin veil. Going on at the other side of this. That combo, that modality, I think is going to be... This will never be a meta-defining card, but I'm feeling really confident that this is going to be one of those good in multiple decks kind of picks.
yeah, the fact, like, obviously the second mode isn't doing anything without instant speed, but the fact that this is instant speed is kind of killer.
Yeah.
To be able to, okay, you're not going to target my creature. Like, I've got my Tifa or I've got whatever on the board, and I've got 2 mana up to protect it, and then you tap out for some big dumb creature to chump block whatever. I'm like, okay, kill your thing. Kill your Simulacrum Synthesizer, whatever. Kill your giant construct that was going to block for it, swinging in. The versatility of this is good. And I respect the fact that you pick cards that are not going to be meta-defining, but you know that they're going to at least see some play. Some people on the internet would call it a coward's play, but I respect it. I just, if people commented on this video, they might... I don't know if anybody watches this anymore after we took a month off.
You have a blood of a coward is what they might say.
I wouldn't say it's connected to your blood, just personally.
Bristly is summoned for some reason. I think the modality here, this I think is destined for main decks, but it's also an easy sideboard for a lot of big green decks, which are also like the Ouroboros stuff is real. Like that is a real mid-range deck that's stomping out.
This
And you
card
can
is
imagine-
amazing with Ouroboros. It does
Just
everything
put
you
this
want.
in there, right? It's doing the +1/+1 counter thing, and it's this stuff that you're going to be able to have for answers, right? It kind of does
Star
both.
Cage too. Blowing up Star Cage is pretty hot in meta right
Oh
now.
yeah, that's real.
My number 3 card, bit of a gamble, but I do feel
gamble.
confident. I don't know where it goes because you'll see when I talked about it. But like, I think there's an obvious home for it, but I worry it might be a little too expensive, which feels weird to say about a 3-mana card. But it is Earthbender Ascension. This enchantment, the reason why I like it is it does a shitload for 3 mana. None of it's great, but you get to Earthbend too, so you get to turn one of your lands into a creature, and then Earthbend is just, I think, a uniquely strong ability given the context there of how like. What you can use it for and the relatively low risk of turning a card into a creature land with Earthbend. But then you also get to ramp, which is kind of nasty. So you get to search. It's basic land, obviously, but the fact that you get to do that, and then you also have landfall with the quest counters like all the other ascensions, and then if you do that, if you've landfalled 4 times, which in a lot of green decks is not hard to do, you get to put a +1/+1 on a target creature you control, and it gains trample, which in big stupid green decks, like we've seen how relevant trample is on the Hydra or on Tifa. That super matters when you can't chump it out. This card does a lot for 3 mana.
Yeah, I think it's really good. It was on my short list. It's a very powerful card for that exact reason. It is good. Yeah, I think the landfall piece. The one quandary I have about that is for the specific like Tifa Hydra deck, they don't need the trample, so that kind of is just sort of left lingering there. Maybe like maybe one of those Ouroboros
On the
decks we're
Chocobo.
talking about. Yeah,
On
or
the Chocobo.
that could there's things that could benefit from it, right? Bristly Bill, right? He could benefit from that. So there's cards that could use it to just get in for it. I think if it might be a situation
I do
where
want to push
it does
back on that.
everything okay.
There's been a lot of games where you've got one removal spell and you kill their Tifa and then you
Yeah.
chump in their Chocobo or their Bristly Bill. Like, there are a non-zero percentage, I think a meaningful amount of cases where because now your Bristly Bill or your Chocobo has trample, the opponent just literally dies.
Yeah, I mean that could be a thing. I like it. I like it a lot. It's just whether or not it's too slow for that deck. But I think there's so many things that this card can do. It's got a lot of like you said, it's got a lot of gas for just 3 mana. So and 1 card. So there's a lot.
Yeah. I'm always looking for cards that just do a lot. Like, if we've learned something in Magic, that the fact that like a card can hit the battlefield, immediately give you a body, ramps, and then keeps mattering as the game goes on.
That it sounds
Yeah.
silly.
I mean,
Modern
when you just say it, it's like it's a 3 mana 2/2 that ramps you, and then eventually makes your cards bigger for doing something that you were probably wanting to do anyway. When I say it all out loud like that, I'm like,
Yeah.
shit, maybe I should have put this card
So the
higher.
2/2's got a little bit of an asterisk on it, right? Because if you do attack with it next turn, right, like you're not spending it on mana value. So like there, it's not quite a 2/2. I think.
Wouldn't you rather have the flexibility though?
Oh yeah, no question. I especially would like to have the flexibility, Kyle, with my number 2 card because I think your 3 goes with my 2. You know who taught the people how to earthbend?
Is
That Badger Mole.
That
Badger
card
Mole.
is not.
The
That card's
Badger
not
Mole
gonna be good.
Cub specifically.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, no, Badger Mole, big Badger Mole, bad. Badger Mole Cub is maybe very busted. It might be very, very busted. There's a specific interaction, hold for applause. There's some tech on this card that takes it from being like, okay, to, oh no. So the thing about this card that's really, really good is that it's the Mega Mana Dork, right? So you think about like your Great Canyon Guide or whatever, your Llanowar Elves, cards that people are actually playing now in Standard. This really pumps them up. It doubles them, right? You're going to get some crazy starts with this card. But the real tech on this little guy is the fact that it works with the earthbending. Your creature is a land. So when you tap that 1/1 guy, now all of a sudden he's making 2 mana anytime you earthbend. So imagine if you go turn 2 into turn 3 with the Ascension, you have, I don't know, let me count it up, infinity fucking mana. Like, just do whatever you want now with all your nasty green cards. This card I think Earthbending is very, very strong. And I think this card is going to be one of the reasons why it gets correct. I bet this thing didn't start as a mythic. And then they thought, oh, fudge,
Yeah.
we broke draft entirely. Put an orange thing on it.
I actually, when I was looking at the art, I was like, oh, cute Badger Mole Cub. It's probably an uncommon. I was like, oh, this card's mythic. That's weird. And then I read it and I was like, oh, shit, dog. Yeah, this was on my short list, absolutely. I think you're 100% correct. It would not shock me if this card becomes meta defining. Like this card, especially like really taking another beat and considering it, this card's very good.
It really depends on how good Earthbending is, I think.
Like I think there's plenty of cards with Earthbend tacked on there that are good, but there's also just like cards you were gonna play anyway, like a Llanowar Elves or whatever, that are just dope as shit with this. Like if you play, and this isn't like a tap ability, if you play Llanowar Elves on 1, and then on 2 you play this, your Llanowar Elf can cast another one of these things.
Not
Like,
legendary. Yeah, that's true.
or you could just hold up your metal bending teachings or whatever, like because you got 2 mana now. It's kind of a lot, and not for nothing. Like it is a 2/2. They could have made this a 1/1 if they wanted to, or a 1/2.
It is a cub. It's a baby. But no,
It's a little baby cub.
we'll see. I have high expectations for this card. If nothing else, maybe it'll go live in Elf Cube somewhere and do nasty shit with Elf Ball. But I'm optimistic about this little guy.
All right, that's enough of this friendly avatar shit. We've got to give it up to the man, the reason that there's a story, and that is Firelord Sozin. The Rise of Sozin is a pretty messed up card, and I know that it's a 6 mana enchantment, but hear me out, right? 4 and 2 black, number 1, destroy all creatures. So at base, this is a sweeper, right? Very reminiscent of Elspeth Conqueror's Death. Now, granted, that was 5 mana, but just 6 mana, but it destroyed one thing. At 6 mana, you're just wiping the board. Then you get to do something that is really good in standard these days as the meta has kind of homogenized and decks are built around specific cards. You get to search an opponent's hand, library, and graveyard and then just exile those cards. So imagine exiling like Simulacrum Synthesizer. Like, damn, dude, what? Good luck now, sir. And then finally, you get to return it to the battlefield transformed, and then you just get an absolute beater of a legendary creature that is also, importantly, not an enchantment creature. So stupid like dorky enchantment removal doesn't kill this thing. But Firelord Sozin, he has Menace, which is not nothing, and then Firebending 3. And then whenever he deals combat damage to a player, you can pay X. Note that is still in the combat step, so you do get to use your Firebending 3 for that. When you do, you can return any number of target creatures with mana value X or less to the battlefield from that player's graveyard to the battlefield under your control. I think that last piece is just like cool, like win more text or whatever, because if this thing is hitting the battlefield, you kind of need a sweeper of your own or you're going to die. But the fact that you can just go reclaim all those creatures that you destroyed is pretty hot. But honestly, I think it's worth the value of just the first 2 modes. Like it's a sweeper and then you get to just make them discard stuff. Yeah, also they don't get to draw replacements for it, right? Search your target opponent's hand, library, and graveyard, exile them. So if you get 2 cards out of their hand, it's just gone.
Well, the trade-off there is that you're playing this on turn 6, unless there's some black ramp or something that you're doing with Golgari. So the odds that they're going to have that many targets for you to poach, you called out Synthesizer. The problem is they might already be on the field, Like that could be the problem. And then I think this card is very powerful. I think you rightly identified that third clause as a bit win more. But we saw how good, Deadly Dispute had a moment before VV to like do some stuff, and that's a 5 mana black sweeper. So like this, this stapled to a win con, that could be pretty good. I think it's I don't see it, but I think it's a generically very powerful card.
Yeah, people are gonna have to build around it. But honestly, like for the first 2 modes for 6 mana, it's also at the stage where you probably want to sweep the game if you're like black oops all removal or whatever, and then you're just like crushing their souls. I don't know. It just does a shitload for 6 mana.
It's fitting that your number 2 pick was the villain. My number 1 pick is the hero. Aang Swift Savior, I think, is the best card in this set. It is very good. It's flash flying, so you got a little bit of a beat going on here. That's just kind of gravy because what you're really doing is Vincering their spell. You're saying, what if nah, right? This is a huge tempo play. They're going to sweep you. What if nah, right? Just enough time for me to win the game with my flyers, or you're going to counter me. Nah, I'm going to counter you. And then, you can play around it forever more after that. That's all really, really good to come on a 2-3. We saw Aven Interrupter like do a little bit of work, but I think this potentially is going to be better because not only does it have an extra point of toughness, which hey, that's something for your troubles. The 8-mana transform is not a pie in the sky kind of thing. In these control finishers potentially, right? Waterbend 8 is not 8 mana. You can tap some other things, do some stuff with all the billion tokens, right? Someone get lost you and now you're a quarter of the way there. The beat stick on the back of this thing is real, right? It attacks as a 6/6 trampler. It's going to go do some stuff. I think that versatility on this card makes it the best card. It's going to be doing some stuff in standard.
I don't know, man. I just think there's better counters for 3 mana and there's better finishers. Like,
Yeah, but you
I
get
just don't.
both.
I don't know I mean, like, just play the owl and you could just draw into more counters. Like, I don't see how you can have Aang Swift Savior and the owl on the same list because they would take the same spots in the deck, I would think. Like,
Put
how
them both,
many?
No, put them in the same deck.
I'm not playing this as a finisher ahead of like Quantum Riddler. Like, you're having to put a lot on that counter for the airbend, like being able to airbend something on the stack, and like 2 mana. It's hard because, like, to the credit to the dev team, we just really haven't seen something like airbending before. It is a very flavorful and new mechanic. I can see it not playing out that great. Like, okay, well, now, like, this didn't draw you any cards. Like, you stopped me from sweeping you.
Yeah,
I'm just
it
gonna
doesn't
untap
look
and
that
sweep you
impressive,
again.
But remember
And-
how
Okay, you did 2
backbreaking-
damage to me.
Remember how backbreaking Divide by Zero was? Right? 3
do,
mana,
yeah.
just bounce it back to your hand. Right? Not even 2 tacks. Just, go away. Go back to your hand. That was really powerful. Surprisingly powerful.
Divide by Zero had other stuff going on, though.
Yeah, for sure. And it was a different time. We'll have to see what the meta looks like in a post-VV world, right? Where people are like sweeping or trying to do control stuff. I don't really know. I know this card is just generically powerful, right? It's your control finisher. It's your counter spell. It's your skies. It's kind of the whole thing going on at once. I think that's going to count for something. It's a little hard, right, when these creatures are kind of all commandery hodgepodges, but I think this one can do some standard stuff.
Yeah, the last thing is, like, it is legendary.
Yeah,
That's
fine.
not... I mean, yeah, but, like,
I
having
can
2
flip
of these
it
beat...
and then have another one.
That's true. Having 2 of these being able to beat would be... That's going to come up in a non-zero amount of games.
Yeah.
It's a good card, though. It is a good card. I just don't think... I think, like, this card is destined for edge cases, is probably my assessment. Okay, real quick, Mark. Before we talk about the set, let's just flash back to the past real quick. So, via the power of editing magic, I'm going to make you into a tiny head. Are you ready?
Oh no. Ah!
All right. Okay.
It wasn't that
You're
bad.
a tiny little head, and we're looking at our previous picks. So, everybody, we're not talking about Spider-Man cards because we don't give a shit.
I suck. I don't want to. But I think there's 2 things.
bums us out.
There's 2 things here. There's nothing more that we can say about how much that set sucked. I think it's all been well said and well documented.
We just quit YouTube for like a month and a half. It sucks so bad.
How great is it that we just, because this isn't our job, this is just a fuck around hobby, a couple thousand subscribers, and we just couldn't be bothered. So we just stopped, right? Like, I've watched these other YouTubers and they're just so
I feel so bad for them.
battled, and they just have to like deal with it. And I'm just like,
Or find other shit to do.
miss me with that. I'm just like, we'll come back when there's a good set.
Yeah.
This might happen again with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, it will.
I think it will.
Fucking hate that so
Yeah,
much.
that one might be worse. And I feel like it's
So
gonna,
sorry,
like,
everybody.
recalcitrance.
You can tell if we like a set by if we make videos about it.
The recalcitrance also might be building, like every time this happens, it might get worse, but that's a video for the future. I think the other thing that's really
if we
important-
do take TMT off, we'll let everybody know this time, like, hey, we're not doing it.
Yeah, just fuck off and just not do it. I think with the state of standard, though, that was like the twofer. It was the 1-2 punch of like, yeah, we broke standard and we don't care. And I guess the ban announcement actually addressed it today. That was nice.
It was also the transient nature of it because it was so temporary. There wasn't even reasons to get in there and tech against Vivi because you knew it was going to leave. So you just kind of had, honestly, in a lot of ways, it made it worse. But I digress.
It was like this weird 6-week period of like, why bother? Though I feel like that's going to be the story of 2026 as well. Why bother solving the standard? There will be a new one in 5 weeks.
Yeah. Do you have any cards that you want to move around? So obviously I've updated the Vivi ban, my number one card from Final Fantasy, because I know how to read Magic cards. Look at all the cards that I have predicted that got banned.
Yeah, that one was, I think, pretty easy to see coming there.
And yet not your number one, Nibelheim of Flame.
Ah, Nibelheim of Flame. Hey, one person played that card.
And they lost, I bet.
Let's go look over at some of your shit picks over there. Like, you picked some pretty smelly
You
ones.
have doubled me up in the LOL bad category.
That's 'cause I go hard.
Clearly in the win.
That's because I go hard. I go hard. And I've got a lot of good in multiple decks. Speaking of good in multiple decks, get Kona one more rank up that ladder. This card is doing things. It's doing it with Omniscience. It's doing it without Omniscience. It's doing it in Sultai. It's doing it in Selesnya. It's doing whatever it wants. This Rescue Beastie has rescued my heart. It's the station lands obviously are a huge part of this card's success, but anytime you put something like that generically cracked on a monster, like bad things are going to happen, and so they are.
Yeah, I don't have anything I want to move. I will tell you though, now in a post-view world, that Cosmogran Zenith, betcha that's going to go up too.
Yeah.
That card is sick nasty.
Let's see, Cosmogran Zenith. Yeah, I mean, it's actually, there's an argument that Cosmogran could actually go in good multiple decks because it's in Azorius Pixie, Esper Pixie, Selesnya mid-range, Azorius aggro. I'm just reading some of the stuff off of MTG Melee.
That sounds like good in multiple decks to me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it probably is. It's in 43 from the selection. I think it probably does deserve that. I'm not too hard boned about it because I think it's just going to keep climbing. That might be where it stops, though. We'll see.
Back to being normal size. All right. So,
God.
Just wrapping up, what do you think about Avatar? Like, let's not complain about the past. What do you think about Avatar? What are you looking forward to the set? What are you thinking about? Do you think, at time now without having played this cards, do you think this is going to be a successful set a la Final Fantasy, even Edge of Eternities?
Yes.
Shit, either drift compared to Spider-Man? Or is this going to be another Spider-Man like, oh, fuck?
No, I think there are so many more headwinds that Spider-Man had to face. I'll just list the obvious ones first. Like, the setting of it all was bad. But, like, the Omen Pass, honestly, were a bit like a disaster. Can't be understated how bad that was. For not just the vibes, but for the grockability, for like, everything.
Enough complaining about Spider-Man, though. Like, do you think Avatar is going to be successful?
Because
and
it does
why?
not have those problems. And specifically, also, I am so looking forward to drafting again. Pick two is probably a terrible thing to do.
He can't help it, ladies and gentlemen. His blood is made of salt.
No, it's true. But pick two is probably bad, but I think the small set is worse. Having a full set again is going to make... I love draft. I love it so much. It's what I do when standard gets stale. And so have that again, oh my God.
And you get to play so many fun cards. You get to be excited about cards you never get to play.
Yep.
Here's my thing specifically about Avatar and why I am excited about it. I think they did such a good job with the creatures and the mooks. You know, not every card is... like ally is kind of slapped on stuff, but there's so many like swamp benders and like random water tribe
Earth
dudes
Kingdom
and random
guards.
fire kingdom or Fire Nation soldiers, and it's just like, yeah, this feels like it could be the other side of Dominaria, where some weird war of the elements is going on. You know, obviously, like, it's got its own style stuff, and there's a lot of reference to the shows, which I like, but you can see that, like, this isn't just about 8 people. This is about a continent-spanning conflict, and there are a bunch of other people involved in this setting, and there's some protagonists that we follow, but it's not every goddamn card is Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Sorry,
the thing about Magic that's always been a strength is the settings, right? And when it's about the settings, you know Avatar is a powerful setting because of all the ways people interact with it, and the fact that, you know, they keep making shows after the main cast is literally died of old age. And those shows were bangers. Fight Me, Legend of Korra is amazing. That world people want to exist.
Don't come for him in the comment section. I also agree.
It's a good show. The way season 2
it's just not as good as Avatar, but like, come on.
But what is? Come on, it's fine.
Yeah.
You want to go to that world. right? You want to visit that world. I don't want to visit, like, maybe I want to hang out with the turtles. I mean, that was like the first thing we ever loved growing up as kids, right?
Raphael, Michelangelo.
But I don't want to go to that world. That's not a world you can go to. It's just New York, but with the turtles. So this also
Which is
cannot be
weird
understated.
because we grew up to be Michelangelo and probably Donatello.
I'd say I'm more of a Leonardo, but yeah, sure.
You are in no way a Leonardo.
I'm petting him, everyone. Shh, it's okay, Mikey. Go to sleep. Yeah, I want to go to this. I want to play with it. It's just the difference is when you don't make shitty magic cards, it's everything else kind of just fixes itself. It's like football, you know? It's like, hey, when the team's winning, all the things just kind of work, you know? And it's like when the set's good. Magic is good when the sets are good. And everything else just kind of falls away a little bit. It's like, yeah, I don't love the fact that 2026 is bloated. Yeah, I don't love the fact that we're not getting as many magic sets in our magic. But like right here, right now, we got a certified banger. And at least we got that.
My final thoughts is Magic might not be okay. Like, no. I'm not saying Avatar is going to fix everything. I think we got a lot of problems with the number of cards. I think we've got problems with 3-year standards.
Standard is
but
fucks.
Avatar, the set, is not going to make it worse. No. And that's as far as like this set, that's all you can ask from this set. This set can't control the other cards. It can't control how many other sets there are. But like when you set down to go to pre-release, when you set down to draft this set, when you open these packs and play with your friends at your kitchen table, I think you're going to have a good time because I think these cards are cool.
We'll see what happens when the massive pool of cards just, you know, like how long, that's a question for you. How long will these good vibes last? Will it go all the way to Lorwyn where everyone's just going to like lose their minds because they're so happy? Or in a couple of weeks, we're going to realize, oops, standards broken again. And all the turtle spoilers are coming out. And everyone's like, I kind of goddamn hate this. Like, how long can these good vibes sustain?
I think there will be a goodwill that kind of gets funneled back to Avatar and Lorwyn. I think Lorwyn is going to be like the definition of receiving favors because of the vehement negative reaction to Turtles, but we'll see. I don't want to talk too much about other sets because
you know what Lorwyn
this video is running long.
It reminds me of the same way everyone was so excited about Tarkir, you know, earlier this year, where it wasn't the UB stuff, it was the hat sets. It was just like, we're so sick of the hat sets. Just give me some good old-fashioned authentic magic. And now it's like Lorwyn is the palate cleanser for all the UB garbage, where you're just like, can we just do a magic? And then we get to go to like the magicalest place of all, Lorwyn. So I think that'll be nice too. I hope the good vibes roll, because I think magic is more fun when people are having fun.
Exactly. We're not going to... We could have made a bunch of videos about how much we hate Spider-Man, but...
We talked about it, but we just couldn't.
You can tell, like, when we don't make when we don't make any videos at all, that is the most damning critique we could possibly imagine. But
today is not
we're excited about Avatar. What do you think? If you made it all this way, first of all, thank you. Subscribe. But leave us a comment, more importantly. Let us know what you think. Let Mark know why he doesn't know how to evaluate magic cards. Perhaps coach him up on the process.
Yeah, I can use it.
Yeah, and let us know what you think and what you're excited about. What are you going to brew on day one? That's what I want to know, because I'm going to beat people to death with a giant snake owl.